The tin can gets the farm down, as you can see your boy, aka me, distracting Ty. The featured battler with a Facebook message, Banette now with one shield to hide behind, shields up the zap cannon, and my gosh, in comes the flying toilet. And in case you didn't know, Banette hits like a truck. High toilet, bye toilet. So, welcome back to the home of Shadow Pokemon. Today, we have the perfect combination of Spice and Triple Shadow Madness. Ty, my good friend, as you can tell, I'm not just saying he's my good friend, as you can even see I was distracting him when battling by sending him Facebook messages, has submitted a very unique team. We're going to see Shadow Wailord, a Pokemon I've not seen anyone else use, with two of the best glass cannons available in the meta, the Oppressive Charmer, the Queen of Destruction, Shadow Gardevoir, with the best closer of them all, Shadow Banette, in the back. And in game one, we lead Wailord into what I believe is a Sableye. It's quite difficult to tell as this huge whale fills up the entirety of the screen. The opponent throws the foul play. Wailord hangs on with 1 HP and a Dream returns fire. With the Surf, the opponent lets it go and the big blue whale wind switch. The opponent comes in. 2 Zangoose, both our remaining Pokemon take super effective. From Shadow Claw, Gardevoir is going to have to shield up the Night Slash. The opponent goes for the close combat, definitely not the play, as that is double resisted. It's some ghost on ghost action, the bulky Dusclops versus the Glass Cannon. Banette, Ty over farms. It looks like he isn't even going to throw a charge move, as the win con at this stage is just to charm down, farm down everything. Banette goes down to the Ice Punch. In comes Gardevoir. Dusclops gets charmed down. The squishy Zangoose is going to return, and that gets charmed down as well. And the opponent saves 2 shields for next season. Moving on to the next one. We see some shadow on shadow action. Wailord into Gardevoir, charm tearing us apart. However, the one-turn water gun really adding up on the Gardevoir. We draw a shield with the Surf and aggressive switch into Banette, looking for the snipe. We don't snipe. The opponent manages to save the Gardevoir on low health. In comes Altaria. We go straight for the Shadow Ball, and the opponent is now all shields down. It's 2 shield Gardevoir versus the world, and the opponent says fuck that and concedes the match. Moving on to the next one. We see the big blue whale that looks ironically more like a submarine than a whale into Sableye in the first game we saw. We do win the zeros, however I'm unsure if that's IV dependent. Ty tanks the foul play, returns fire with the Surf. Surf doesn't get them low enough for the water gun farm down, so Ty snipes with a charm. The opponent now comes in to their own Gardevoir. It's going to be a charm down to the finish, and it's a simul swap. This matchup absolutely flying by. The opponent's got a 2-shielded flying toilet, aka Pelipper, and we've got 2 shields on Banette. Ty is going to probably have to make a catch to win this game. He is going to shield up the weather ball. Banette absolutely not able to tank any moves. Ty continuing to overfarm. Are we able to Shadow Claw him all the way down? The opponent is 5 away from the next move. Do we get the farm down? We do not, but stay in school, kids. Learn to count. Ty makes an absolute savage catch. Weather Ball takes us out. Banette manages to Shadow Claw down, and that's another reverse 2-shield flex. Moving on to the next one, we see Wailord into Walrein. I normally say the big fat walrus, however this Wailord makes this walrus look like a very skinny seal. The opponent goes straight for the Earthquake, and Ty correctly shields up. Wailord has no coverage moves, so we are only able to hit 4 resisted or double resisted. Surf would be single resisted, however the Blizzard would be double resisted, so Ty is going to go for the Surf. Surf not going to do a great deal to the Walrus, however it looks like the second is going to knock out. Does the opponent want to make a play for lead? They do not, so Wailord does win lead. The opponent comes in to a shiny Salamence, and Gardevoir now licking his lips, chomping to get on the battlefield. The opponent shields up the resisted Surf. In comes Gardevoir. A simul swap. It's Dusclops versus Banette. Banette is going to be able to tank an Ice Punch. Not particularly well, but we do tank it. Ice Punch gets us low. Ty now looking to overfarm. Fire off the Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball will be drawing the final shield off the opponent. We now come in with the Gardevoir. We can easily shield up whatever they throw, and it is going to be a blink and you miss it moment when Salamence does return. I reckon 2 taps is going to be more than enough to knock it out. However, Dusclops makes one final move. Ice Punch gets us low. Salamence fairly healthy, and 2 taps was bang on the money, and that is all she wrote. GG's, and thanks for playing. Moving on to the next one, the Whale out here, hard winning lead against a Claydol. The opponent in absolute dire straits. They say switch into Crawdon, and Gardevoir out here feasting. We shield up the Crab Hammer, commit to the Charm Down, Farm Down, back out, comes Claydol, and the opponent isn't even running Mud Slap. I have no idea why the opponent wouldn't run Mud Slap. I think you really need that. It's a hard wall Registeel, however the opponent thinks. We're going to play their spicy moveset and they are being hard punished for it. We throw the Psychic, Psychic draws a shield from the opponent. In comes Wailord, we get the full Water Gun Farm Down on its defense. Deoxys in the back, the opponent with only one shield remaining, and you already know Ty is YOLO in the Blizzard. The opponent shows no respect and the bulky Deoxys gets near one shot. We come in to Banette, we do survive any one move. Rock Slide gets us fairly low and we Shadow Claw down and take that game. Moving on to the next battle, it's top meta monster, their Tin Can, aka Registeel, versus Wailord, the big blue submarine looking motherfucker. We go for the surf and the opponent commits a very questionable shield. Registeel, known for its bulk, shielding up a surf is a very interesting decision. They throw the Zap Cannon, we let it go. The opponent now pivots out into the Altaria and Gardavoir is about to feast. Ty thinking about it, is he going to shield? Last second shield on the Sky Attack. We commit to the Charm Down, Farm Down, back out. Comes Registeel, the opponent with one shield to hide behind. We throw the Psychic, does Registeel shield up, expecting a Shadow Ball? Yes, they do. The opponent all shields down. Ty gonna put it all on Banette. You can see your boy Jamie Finn 1415 trying to distract Ty by sending him Facebook messages. However, does that mean Ty is gonna lose this game? He's got one shield. Banette versus the world. We shield up whatever Reggie throws. They go for the Zap Cannon. They pivot out into the Flying Toilet, and this toilet is about to get fucking wrecked. Thunder, double super effective. They get absolutely nuked. That Thunder would probably kill a whole flock of Pelipper, and we Shadow Claw down the Tin Can and take that game. GG's and thanks for playing. You can see Ty goes on a very impressive 5-0 run in that set. Moving on to the next one. Wailord into Medicham, not the best. We've got two anti-fighters in the back, so we pivot into Banette and the opponent answers with Gardavoir. Pretty questionable. We go for the Shadow Ball. The opponent gives up switch and they've got Vigoroth in the back. Can we make the Thunder? It looks like we cannot, so we are going to throw the double resisted Shadow Ball. Is the opponent counting? Yes, they are, but Shadow Ball still does quite a lot considering it's double resisted. Ty now with the correct alignment. He's just going to sack the Wailord, put it all on Gardavoir, and we're going to be able to Charm Down, Farm Down everything. An instant no shield from Ty, Body Slam, takes us out. Gardavoir enters the battlefield. Vigoroth desperately looking to get to a Body Slam. They don't make it. Medicham, absolutely no chance. The opponent runs for the hills. Moving on to the next one. Wailord into DD. This matchup probably isn't fantastic, as Thunderbolt would return us to our Pokeball. Ty goes for the Surf. Surf does land. We now pivot out into Banette. The opponent answers with Swampert, and holy crap, Shadow Claw ripping through the opponent. The opponent switched out late, so they're now forced to burn a shield on the Shadow Ball. The opponent looking to get towards the back-to-back Hydros. Ty not going to invest any shields on Banette. Hydro Cannon takes us out. We come in to the Whale. We get the Water Gun Farm Down before the opponent reaches an Earthquake. The opponent comes back into Deoxys. Thunderbolt takes us out again. We've got two shield. Gardevoir versus the world. The opponent makes what I believe to only be a Psycho boost. However, Ty choosing to keep his Gardevoir healthy. It's Sableye in the back and another top left. You love to see it. Moving on to the next one. Wailord into Meti, we pivot into Banette. The opponent stays in, throws some counters. I have no idea why. Pretty questionable. They answer with Swampert switching out. Super late. Ty CMP ties the Swampert to the charge move. He draws a shield. It looks like Ty going to completely sack the Banette. Hydro Cannon takes us out. He comes in to the Whale. We can probably one shield and farm them all the way down. It's very difficult to see if Ty clicked the shield, as Whale takes up the whole screen. He did shield. He did correctly shield up the Earthquake. We get the full Water Gun Farm Down. The Whale absolutely loaded. Ty going for the Surf Bait. Medicham shits its pants, putting up a shield, and we pivot out into Gardevoir. Medicham has enough for a Dynamic Punch or a Psychic. They throw the resisted Psychic. That still does 50% of our HP. It's Altaria in the back. Charm tearing through the opponent. The opponent forced to throw as they can't double resisted. Dragon Breath us down. Ty lets it go, comes in with the whale, gets the resisted, water gun farm down, back out, comes Medicham, and Medicham is going to eat a BM Blizzard to the face. GG's trainer, thanks for playing. And we get a cheeky screenshot for the road, moving on to the next one. Dreadful lead Wailord into Alteria, we pivot out into Banette, and this Dragon Breath is tearing through our Banette. We do make the Shadow Ball on what looks like a CMP tie. Shadow Ball draws a shield from the opponent tie, going to allow Banette to go down. We're going to have to wait out our full timer, come in to Gardavoir and hope we can charm down, farm down absolutely everything. The opponent is staying in. Holy crap, why would you stay in? Perhaps they've got only one charm answer. They might be ABA weak to charm. However, if Deoxys is their only charm counter, they are in big trouble. Gardavoir makes a psychic. Deoxys will be shielding, fearful of the Shadow Ball. We haven't got it, but the opponent doesn't know that. We shield up the Psycho Boost, pivot out into Wailord. The opponent now switches out into that second thing, weak to charm, and it's a Medicham tie. Throws the Surf. Surf isn't going to do a great deal of damage, but it does get Meti into the yellow, and it looks like it was a CMP tie. The opponent goes for the resisted Ice Punch. Wailord hangs on. Can we make one more Surf? We die with the move, which is absolutely brutal. Gardavoir is going to have to shield up the Ice Punch. Ice Punch would be knocking us out. Back out comes Deoxys. This should just be a Psycho Boost. Psycho Boost is resisted. Gardavoir does hang on. The counters are double resisted, and Gardavoir gets a very nice charm down, farm down. Huge misplay there from the last opponent. That Deoxys could have just made a Thunderbolt or Rock Slide and won, but they didn't. So Ty's going to absolutely take that. In the next battle, we see Wailord into Sableye. We draw a shield from the Shadow Sableye with the Surf. Ty going to allow his Whale to go down. Foul play takes us out. We come in to Gardevoir, 2 taps, delete Sableye. In a blink of an eye, they come in to Registeel, and it's Meti in the back. Banette about to sweep this team. We are going to shield up the potential Ice Punch, and the opponent is a Master Beta. They go for the Power Up Punch. However, I think we are still good to go. Ty fires off the Shadow Ball, looking to pressure the final shield from the opponent. The opponent does shield. Ty is going to be forced to shield again, as this could be a boosted Ice Punch. The opponent does send the Ice Punch, but Banette gets the Shadow Claw farm down. We've got residual energy. Good to go. Registeel pretty thick, or at least you would think, but Banette says, Registeel, you aren't thick enough. We land the first Shadow Ball, pivot out into Gardevoir to force the energy from the opponent. The opponent staying in for no reason whatsoever. They then throw a resisted Focus Blast and get charmed down. Thanks, trainer, for wasting all of our time. Moving on to the next one. The Whale into the Walrus is the battle of the blue sea creatures. If Ty correctly shields up an Earthquake, we could be in a good spot. The opponent full sends the Earthquake. Is Shadow on Shadow, so this Surf is going to do quite a lot of resisted damage. Does the opponent want to commit a shield? Yes, they do. Ty now looking to overfarm. Throw the second Surf. Surf probably won't knock out, but will leave this Walrus super low. They're now on 1 HP and a Dream. Does Ty commit his final shield? He does not. The opponent does win the 1 shield. We come in to Banette, get a 1 Shadow Claw advantage, and the opponent is thinking about what to do, and they decide this game isn't for them. Moving on to the next one. The Whale into Gardevoir. This is where you're going to see Gardevoir's lack of HP stat as the 1-turn water guns really adding up. We make the Surf. The opponent's going to have to shield or lose lead. The opponent does shield. We come in to Banette looking for the snipe. The opponent pivots out into Alteria. They're already down 1 shield. Does the opponent want to commit that final shield on the Shadow Ball? Yes, they do. So Ty now sitting in a great spot. We've got the Queen of Destruction with 2 shields to hide behind. Ty commits that first Protect shield on the Sky Attack with double resist and the Dragon Breaths. We get the full charm down, farm down. The opponent's Gardevoir is low, so it's only going to take 1 charm to get rid of it. The opponent chooses to come in with the third. It's a Swampert, and charm is tearing through the opponent. We are going to have to shield up the Hydro Cannon. Ty just needs to be careful of the sack. The opponent attempts to sack. They're unsuccessful, and this Psychic is going to boom Swampert back to its Pokeball. GG's, and thanks for playing. As always, a huge thank you to Ty for the incredibly spicy Shadow Destruction You know I love that sort of content, and you, my good friend, never disappoints. So if you're enjoying the content, smash that like button. If you're new, consider subscribing if you like your battles featured on the channel. A link to my battle submission form is down below. So I'd like to say thanks for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.